I'm back at Strawn after spending a day at Pillinger, having a great walk over there. So today is Monday and it's jobs day. As you can see, I've done some washing, very exciting stuff. But what I am excited about is I can get my gas bottles filled. I called the local BP and they do fill gas bottles down to about half of one left. I've been using camping canisters just to try and save some resources. Anyway, getting rid of some rubbish and then go shopping. So the plan is today, I'm going to have lunch in town, then go and anchor out at Pilot Bay, and that's just outside of Hell's Gate, and I'll anchor there and get a really early start in the morning. The weather's looking good to go. Here we are passing Bonnet Island again on the way out to anchor at Pilot Bay for the night. There's Entrance Island and this is Hell's Gate. Departing Macquarie Harbour, it's farewell for Bellamy. The Gordon River and Macquarie Harbour has just been awesome, and coming out through Hell's Gate is there's no problem at all. Again, the entry was pretty tame, and coming out again was really good. Well, that was quite pleasant coming out through there. I've come out through Hell's Gate about an hour after the low tide. There's still about a knot and a half of flow out, which helped me along a little bit. And the shallowest I saw on the depth sounder was 3.7 metres. So as I come out to the end of the breakwater, just beyond that is Pilot Bay, so I can swing around to the left and anchor over on the far side of Pilot Bay. The forecast is for northwest, which it is now, gradually going around to the west and increasing, so all good for going into Pilot Bay. And then I'll be making a move at first light tomorrow morning to head north. I've got one more excursion planned for the tender at least, before she gets packed up on the foredeck, and come back to Hell's Gate in the tender and switch the engine off, and just drifting out with the tidal flow. I'm coming over to Bonnet Island now, and there's a jetty just on the right hand side of the island there. There was one just below the lighthouse on Entrance Island, but it wasn't really going to happen for me to get up on that one. It was actually too high. So anyway, we're going to pull up to this jetty here and see if we can get a closer look at the lighthouse on Bonnet Island. This is the southern end of Bonnet Island, and there's a little bit of information there about penguins. But Strawn is directly in the middle there over that hill, and we'll go and look up on top of this hill. This is the lighthouse on Bonnet Island, and looking out to that small island out in front of us is Entrance Island and Hell's Gate. As the sign says, no entry, critical navigation equipment. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. I've been going for about 5 hours, and I've already passed Conical Rock Point. About 12 miles to go to Sandy Cape, and I've decided to press on and continue up to Hunter Island. But started off, and first part of the day was pretty good, with about 12 knots of a little bit of north in a westerly breeze, and then getting around Conical Rock Point I've had to sort of pinch up a bit to get around it, but I could see a bit of a line of rain coming, and with that came a bit of extra breeze. It's backed around to the west a bit, but definitely picked up in speed, so I've got a reef in the I've got the main and the headsail furled up a bit, probably about half the main, and so about half the headsail as well, and cracking along at about 8 knots plus. This is Sandy Cape, and while it looks a bit rocky, it is called Sandy Cape. Now, it was my intention to stop in here for the night and then keep going, but it's not even 3 PM yet, so I'm going to press on and do another 50 miles up to Cuvier Bay on Hunter Island. So that'll get me in after dark, but not too late. Still got light till about 8:30, so I'll probably have an hour to an hour and a half of sailing in darkness to get there. But it's a good open bay with no obstructions, so I have no concerns about going in there tonight. And then I'll hop across to Curry at King Island tomorrow. But it's been an interesting day. First half of the day was pretty tame, but then had 3 or 4 lines of rain come over me, which brought quite an increase of wind. So I've been kind of reefing and unreefing a little bit, but it seems to have settled into the forecast. It's sort of southwesterly now, and I'm happy with the way I'm travelling. I've just passed West Point, so I'm getting very close to the northwestern tip of Tasmania. So I've had pretty good sailing conditions for most of the day, but I ended up motoring for what will be the last 30 miles. I'm going into Cuvier Bay on Hunter Island, and I don't expect to get there till about 10 o'clock tonight, so pretty mild conditions. The wind has dropped out, swell is behind me, so I'm getting a little bit of a ride on a wave every now and then, or on the swell, but really not that much. But anyway, it's been a pleasant trip, but it's going to be about a total of 100 miles this trip, and the reason for that is to be able to get into King Island hopefully for 2 nights there alongside the jetty at Curry. And then I'm going to go around to Grassy on the east side of King Island, and cross Bass Strait from there on Saturday. The wind is looking pretty good for that. So it's about to get dark. I'll be pulling into Cuvier Bay in darkness, so that's about it for today.